What's up, guys? It's Roni back here. I told y'all I'd post a video of after I got it all together, the Kia Rio here. We were just doing some body repair on a Jeep that we have. So got the Kia all back together. So there, when you do these, and I've done a few of these, and the last two I finally, I've caught on how to make this super easy or how to make it super difficult. So one of the first things you're gonna do when you put this together is you want to put the tensioner on first. When you do this, don't put that screw in. All you're gonna do is use this one with the spring, of course. Now the one side of this spring is going to be closer to the block excuse me, than the top side of the spring. It sits on like this little L bent molded in bracket here to the tensioner roller. So you won't have your belt on, you won't have anything else on, you'll just have this and this. So you'll go ahead and when you put this in, this little arm back here that's in this, let me grab a light here and I can show you guys. Oh, look, there you go. Now you can see it's a whole lot better. Okay, so that one I was just pointing at right there in between the belt where the tensioner glides. That little open space is pretty much going to be touching the top of the crank when you're putting that one in. Okay, and you're going to put that spring bolt in with the tensioner turned almost all the way towards the front of the vehicle, okay? And you'll still have to, if you have a really small pry bar, what you'll still have to do before the belt and anything else goes on there is, you'll see down here where I'm pointing, there's like a little L shape, and that bends up, and this spring piece right here will actually be over here. Okay, and the belt and nothing on, and this that's up here will be somewhat down here. You'll put the screw in, I'd say probably 5 or 6 turns, and then take the mini pry bar and use it as a wedge and over the top of this little ledge here. Okay, now once you have that tight, you can use this and push it back towards the back of the block a little bit. Then go ahead and pretty much almost tighten up this bolt that's right here. Okay. Then after you get that in, come nice decent pry bar, and right up in that little ledge spot there, you'll go ahead and stick it, and you will push it like this. So when your handle's up there and it's in that little spot there, you'll be pushing towards the front of the car, almost up towards the bottom of the passenger side headlight, okay? And that's gonna bend it far enough for you to put that bolt in. Okay, now once you get that bolt in, then from there you're gonna do what you just did again with the pry bar up here like this, bending up and towards, letting it flex up and towards the bottom of the headlight bucket with your fist, and that'll open up so you have enough tension then at that point to line up and slip your belt on here. Now what I do is there's a little mark, there's a little notch right there at the tip of my finger. You can barely see it. There you go. So when you're looking at that, you see I have the little mark lined up with the little mark on the back there. Okay, now when you go to put the belt on, I always set it just tad before, because you don't want all your tension, or you don't want all your slack on this side of the belt. You want it always on the tensioner side. So slip the belt on, give the crank just a tad turn, which totally lines up that mark here. If I can set myself straight and look at it normal, you'll be able to see I got it dead on. So once you get that, then just release it. It'll push and pull the tension up over on the side of your belt. Go ahead and tighten up your spring. Make sure that's all tight. Go ahead and tighten as well your tensioner bolt. Then you should be all good. You come up here just to double check and make sure. Now when you look here, if you kind of look, see that colored mark? Now you can literally stick a little flathead, and that flathead should sit in that groove, go through the pulley, and that means you're dead on and you're golden. So there we go. You can also see I put the new water pump in as well. If you're doing the water pump, I recommend doing it obviously while it's out. The timing and everything, you kind of have to. There's there's that shiny one. They give you a new one with the water pump. There's that one, and there's one above it to take off as well. And then 1, 2, 3. I got the old pump sitting here somewhere. Here's the old one. So it sits in there like this. That little narrow hole in the top is just a mounting hole for the timing cover, but all the other open holes are good. Now make sure there are different size. The smaller one you see down here in the right hand of the corner, that one does take a smaller bolt, and they give you a brand new bolt to actually put in that hole. So you can see it's that really shiny one that's sitting up there, and then there's one right on top of it. You can see right there. So you can kind of see both of them at the right hand bottom of the screen there. Shiny new one, which also connects to the same bracket, and those are your other 2 water pump bolts. Don't over tighten them, okay? You don't want to break them off in the block. So now I'm going to go ahead and reassemble everything back up, throw the timing covers on. When you put the timing covers on, there's a bottom hoop. Make sure you put the hoop in the right way. It's kind of cut out. It's pretty self-explanatory where the Woodruff key goes. Make sure you put it in. You can see the indentations from the crank gear. So it's gonna go on like that, and then your crank bolt will go on right over it. Okay, so there you go. There she is. New water pump, new tensioner pulley, new belt, new idler pulley up at the top. Alright, I'll go ahead and throw a video back up when I get it all put together and running and everything like that, top off the coolant. Alright.